It keeps moving around. I know it wants to be everywhere, but where I want it to
be. Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes anyway. Hello everyone, Lori here. Welcome to How Do You Spirit? And today we have Taco with us, of course, and a very good friend from way many years ago.
I know. We never out together very well.
Yeah. This is Doreen. And today we are going to be talking about past lives. And please bear with me, everybody, because our cute little moderator is not here today. So I'm going to try and moderate the live.
We're kind of missing a leg.
Yeah. So if we're kind of broken today, maybe.
We're a little shit show, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, so
It's
please
fine.
forgive if I don't see the chats. But anyway, okay. Doreen has her cute little son with us, and I don't know if you can see him here on the floor, but
He's down there hanging out.
he has talked about past lives. Oh, past life with you specifically, right?
I know he's had others. In fact, I adopted Max, and
Yeah,
I had
we
him.
want to hear the whole story.
Yes, start from the beginning.
Back in blah, blah,
Back.
blah, blah,
So I have been a foster mom since 2007, and so I've had many children.
That is the most beautiful thing I
Right.
think someone can do.
Yes.
Absolutely, I agree. I always wanted children in my life, but this genetic makeup of mine was like, nope, ain't happening.
Well, it's because you were supposed to be a foster mom. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I am like the mama hen, you know. If it's a
You
storm,
are.
go under my
You
wings.
are the neighborhood mama.
I am big
Yep.
time, and all that meet me know that. I'm like, here, I'll take care of you. Come here. I will bake you cookies. So when this wasn't working, you know, the whole getting pregnant, the whole hormone
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and they make you take all this stuff, and anyway, it was not happening for me. I just was like big boobs and wanted to eat ice cream in the corner, and like, no, it just
that's a rough one.
it was bad. So
Yeah.
then after finding out endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and then I have a heart-shaped uterus, it was like 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah,
You're done.
I get that.
So just have a talk with myself. So how can I create a way for children to come into my life? So that's when talking with my sister Georgine, who's just 11 and a half months older than I am. She said, well, I looked
They
into
didn't wait
foster
the 2
care.
weeks, huh? No. I'm just kidding.
My mom had 6 kids in 10 years.
I love
Wow.
big families. Though.
Wow.
I
So
know
Irish
that.
twins too.
That's
Oh yeah, that's what I say too. That's another story for another
fair
day.
enough.
Yeah, so no only children in our house. So I had done foster care with my first husband, and we had a daughter that I moved her, but as soon as I got remarried, and that was super fast. Taco was along for the ride for all of that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a really fast.
She was like, "Woo, girl!" I'm like, "Oh, well, it happens." And
when you
so
decide to get shit done, you don't.
I don't. I'm like, get
She
her
don't
done.
mess around.
Get her done.
You are. I like it. I like it.
So I get remarried. I go get my daughter Jade from the foster mom she was with. She's with me. During that time is when she decided she wanted to go on a mission, and Taco's like, she will respect you more than anything when she comes home. She'll understand everything you've put into her, and she, to this day, she's like, Mom, you are the best person ever. I want to be like you. But during this time too, I had an opportunity come to adopt a little boy, and this was my first one, Ben. Ben comes from
Yeah.
2 challenged parents, IQ 4952. They get together on a work release program, and they get pregnant. So here's little Ben flying into this world. Mama said she didn't know she was pregnant. He had a lot of birth injuries, as well as when he came out, he hit his head on the bottom of the tub, and there's just a whole bunch.
So
of
was
that.
he born at home then?
He was born in an apartment on State Street, right downtown. On his birth certificate,
So-
it lists the address where he was born.
So he wasn't even.
In
Did
a hospital.
In a hospital.
so she had no prenatal care, nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, my, wow.
Absolutely nothing.
Wow.
She said she didn't know she was pregnant. She thought she, quote, was eating good.
Oh, no.
Okay. She's like 5'5", 5'4", and her belly was so big. I saw her in the NICU later on. I'm like, how could you not know? Now, 8 years later, they did know. They thought they would be in trouble.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they were.
You
They
know,
didn't want anybody to
when you have
know.
that, it's like,
Yeah. So this little baby, I was brought into the equation probably maybe 2 weeks after he was born. He had a lot of issues. They said, you take this baby, you know, there's a chance he could pass away. We don't have any idea of the medical problems he will have.
Right.
And you know me, I will take this on. I will do this. Okay, this baby slept 15 minutes at a time.
You are
This
truly
baby
an
was
earth
like,
angel,
I would
man.
post things. I'm like, can you die from no sleep? Can you do this? Can you do this? I'm like, I spent more time at primaries to the point, like, they
Oh,
gave me
yeah.
a lanyard and they'd be like, hi, go. And I just
Yeah.
walked myself up to where I needed to be. He was so, the whole first year of his life, you know, was so scary.
Hit and miss, yeah.
Hit and miss. All right, so here comes, we're kind of smoothing out from Ben. Okay, year and a half later, we're getting year and almost. I'm at the dentist, okay, getting a root canal done. I'm like this, I get a call. We have a baby. We need to come see this. I'm like, I'm at the dentist, let me keep you posted, right? And I get there, here's my daughter Jade. Mom, I'm going to drive you. I'm like, I'm driving myself. You know? We get up there, and here is sweet little Max, who has now been there for a month.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Little Max was born addicted to methamphetamines, barbiturates, THC. Mama was trying to, just a minute, baby. Mama was trying to have him at home because she had had other children.
Well, yeah, and
yeah.
they baby test positive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that
done.
gets you in real
You're done.
trouble.
So here he is coming out breech, right? Feet first. She gets to the shoulders and he's stuck. She cannot get him out. So then they call the paramedics and take him over here to Jordan Valley Hospital to the point, okay, this is in court documents, the doctor basically put his foot on the forceps and pulled him out. There was no way to, he was too far down to do some kind of, you know, operation to get him out or do that, I forget what it's called all of a sudden. So this little baby was born with an APGAR score of 1. Now, if you don't know what an APGAR score is, babies are given a rating when they're born. 5 being perfect, 0 being stillborn. Little Max was a 1.
Yeah.
Max didn't move for a week.
Oh,
Meaning
oh,
he
oh,
sat
we gotta
there.
come over here.
Gotta come over here, honey. Gotta come over here. I know, it's live. Sorry, we're just kind of winging it for a minute.
Come
over here.
You gotta watch out on that.
Of course, we brought Max with us, and it's a whole lot of adventure in a little can, in a little body. There's a whole lot of spirit. Just wait, in this little body. So, little Max, like I said, didn't move. I will take him up to University Hospital, and people go, "This can't be Max." I'm like, "Well, number one, look at the hair, because he was expected not to live."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Not on my watch. I get this baby. I get a baby." Pack on. I strap him to me, and the only time I take him off is to feed him, or if he's sound asleep, or changing diapers.
You know, you are the prime example of what I tell people. You know, when you contract to have a child, right, and you for some reason are unable to get pregnant or unable to have
To physically,
them, right?
yeah.
You don't get out of raising them.
Oh no.
They're
They
still
will find
coming.
you. They will hunt you down.
Right?
They will. And like I knew I was supposed to have 5. I knew from the time I was born I was supposed to have 5. So after my 1, I was like, and I still ended up raising 4 others, and so I had
Yeah.
5.
You do.
But you're the prime example of what I tell people. I'm like, listen, you know, it's okay if you can't physically have it, because even though they might come as like a foster child or a grandchild or someone else's child that you take in.
These are your babies.
When you're contracted to have them, you will always have the bond as if you had them from
Physically,
your body.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm going to do a creepy moment.
Yes, please.
We
We're all
have
about
Max.
creepy moments.
Yes. So Max is 5 years old right now. He's been with me for 5 years. Max has an incredible vocabulary. I'm sorry, he's talking like a 16, 18 year old.
Oh, yeah.
He uses words. I'm like, how do you know this? I just do, Mom. So he's telling me, you know, Mom, I waited to pick you. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, when he was laying there, not moving, and they would send interns to sit by him so this baby didn't die alone. I know that's very sad.
No, but
it was the
that's
truth.
The truth.
It's
Yeah.
the truth. And he would say, yeah, I remember that thing being hooked up to my tummy to his umbilical cord, feeding him, doing everything like they had to. And him saying, yeah, the flower was in my tummy, and I was going through my list, and I chose you.
Well, and they also, when children are born, from the time they're conceived to the time they hit a year old, they come in and out of the body. So a lot of times, you know, like when they have, I see someone that has like a thicker lining on the uterus, our bodies will have what they call a fake pregnancy, right? So
Oh.
you'll have
Yeah.
a miscarriage, you'll get pregnant,
Uh-huh.
you'll have a miscarriage, but it's just to shed that so the baby can latch on
Right.
and have a
Right.
better blood supply. So there's a lot of things spiritually speaking that happens. And so when you have a situation like that where you got a fake pregnancy, you don't really have the soul of the baby come into the body and then the miscarriage. That's not how that works. A lot of times also though, if they
Come
have
up here.
just if there's something that they want to be a part of. So let's say she's here to teach people how to understand grief
Mm-hmm.
and how to process the loss of a child.
Turn around for a
A
minute.
lot of times, like you'll have a baby, and then they die of SIDS or
Yeah.
something like that, and it's because that child decided to come down and help them to complete that task. And that's when you utilize that, and you'll go through all the emotions. You got to do the good, bad, ugly, upside down, backwards before
Right.
you can be the expert.
Have
But
the full experience.
when you come into
Mhm.
it, you look at it as a spiritual contract. It definitely won't hurt as much,
Mhm.
right? And when you do that, you will always kind of have that feeling. I don't know if they're really quite meant to make it, and that's why I think a lot of times mothers get really super overly protective when they first have their kid, because for
Right.
the first year they're popping in and out of the body.
That's
They're not
so
tethered
insane.
to it, and then
Right.
about a year old, they have to make a choice, until they're 5 years of age,
Uh-huh.
they will still be able to connect with the other side, see the other side, work with the other side. That's why a lot of times kids are very vocal when they have past lives, because they can remember it, because the veil isn't as thick there. And
Right.
each year, as they grow and as we screw them up, we start teaching them not to listen to what their God-given instincts are.
Right.
That's when the
gotta come away
connection
from the
to
camera.
the other side is going to be a lot. It'll start getting thicker and thicker at the older that they get.
Come over here.
Come over here.
You
Come
gotta
on.
come on. You
Sorry, my child
You're
is wandering
okay.
by the camera.
come over here.
I wonder if maybe we should put him in like maybe the living room. So that he can play with as a kid. I mean, he's just a kid.
He
He
can't.
is, but
You
he
gotta
sees
come
a
over
drawer in
here.
her closet that has many things to explore.
We gotta come over
In
here.
the
Here, I'll
living room
shut the
or in
closet.
the
Let's
bedroom?
move the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta shut it because we can't.
Come here, Max. Can you come tell me a story real fast before you go in the living room?
What?
Yeah, we're gonna have you in the living room and play for a little bit.
Well, and she's got that bedroom just right next door. I just feel bad for him because he wants to play and.
Yeah, I want you to come talk to me for a minute.
Yay!
He's quite gregarious. Okay.
He's a cutie.
I know he is a cutie. He is all boy. One kiss.
Yeah.
Mwah. Thank you.
Aw.
Yes. Do you want to tell me any stories that you have for me?
No, I want to keep on when I go into the room.
That's fair.
Okay. You want me to show you?
Just don't open the gate with the doggies.
I know. So he begged me the whole time to come here.
Yes.
I want to come, I want to come, I want to come, and then it was like, we're not.
Right,
We
right.
just want to play. We just had the mommies today. I
That's the
think.
kid thing, right?
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Totally. So
So anyway, where were we?
we were talking about Max and how I was supposed to go get him,
Yes.
and how he tells me different things all the time. It's just amazing at times. He'll tell me, Mom, remember when I used to babysit you?
Like, have you asked him like how old you were when he?
I was a baby. He didn't tell me how old he was because he was babysitting me.
Yeah. So, but you were like a tiny baby.
Yes, and I was born in Pennsylvania,
Toys.
and so I remember
In the closet.
I grew up in an old farmhouse up on a hill, so there wasn't a lot of babysitting. My mom did her own babysitting, so I'm trying
Yeah.
to think how. Unless we went to my grandma's house and there was tons of people around there.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? But he'll tell me stuff all the time. He's like, Mom, remember when you did this? And I go, oh, say, oh, that's wrong. That was my other mom.
Where's the Legos at?
Right in
The
those
second
little.
Sorry, we're pointing to Legos.
Go down, 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 down.
I mean, when you work with kids, there is no
Right.
no script to follow. It's kind of crazy.
No, no.
So we're just gonna kind of wing it today. You got it.
Yeah, you can just take the whole drawer.
There you go.
The
There you
whole
go.
drawer. Yes, there we go.
So, kind of going into this, after I got Max, I went to visit Taco when she was in Magna, and I took little Max in a baby carrier.
All right, Max.
And I'm like, so here we go. This is my next adventure. And she would tell me, can I tell you about Max? And I'm like, please do.
Yes.
Max was in World War II.
Oh my.
Max was in the army.
Okay.
Max ran into buildings to free people before it fell on him. I was like,
So that's how he passed.
That's how he passed from his previous life. So he was very honorable. He wanted to save life. He wanted to do this. And I was like, okay. So
Wow.
she goes, when he tells you stuff, just kind of say, okay, that's okay. That's
And
really
listen.
interesting."
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Listen. And this baby, I'm going to tell you, he knows how to swim. I didn't teach him how to swim. I mean, we put him in the tub and away he goes. He's like doing this. And I'm like, he's just little.
Like how old?
A year, if that.
Oh my gosh.
He would wiggle himself out of the baby thing, and start doing this thing. And even now, we just put a life jacket on him at Cowabunga Bay or at Kearns Wreck or wherever we are, and he was
Yeah.
out there doing this and keeping afloat and loving it. And I'm like, how do you even know how to do this? He's like,
Wow.
I'll show you how to breathe too. And he's like, I'm like,
Like he's this expert swimmer,
Exactly.
right? Like
I'm
he's
thinking,
been.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
is that
crazy.
something that he's carried with him because he knows how to swim?
Yeah.
I don't know how he knows. And then I have Ben who's terrified of it. So
The water.
yeah.
Wow.
It's weird.
It is weird. So when did it? So that's the first time when he told you that. Did you have a sense when you brought him home
That
that
I knew this baby, and this baby was supposed to be mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was. I have like pictures and where he's just. A lot of times when you get foster children or other children, yeah, you're nurturing them, and they're kind of a little standoffish because the feel isn't right, the smell isn't right.
Right.
You just kind of know. Max is all snuggled into me.
Really? Just immediately.
Immediately.
He's like,
I pick him up.
this is my mama.
Yeah, Dad's like, with Dad, he's like, ah!
Yeah,
This is his
yeah.
mama. He knows this is where he's supposed to be.
Wow.
All the time. Even now, he bypasses Dad. He just wants to be my mama.
Uh-huh.
And he's that little kid that will make his way into my room, and he like sleeps right here. I'm like,
Right on
Mama needs to. Oh. He wants to be with Mom all the time.
He's your little magnet.
He's my little Velcro baby.
Yes.
As I call him.
That's
And,
perfect.
Anything that goes wrong, it's mom. And people
Uh-huh.
say, well, that's a traditional child. I'm like, but remember, I didn't give birth to this child.
Right.
Yeah. So that connection was there from the moment I walked into the NICU.
Wow.
And the sad part is, he didn't have visitors in the NICU.
Wow.
So my oldest child, Ben, and Max had the same NICU nurse. And I called her and I said,
What?
what are the chances, right? I called her and I said, hey, I am coming in to see this little boy. And she goes, he needs you so bad. He has been by himself. I'll go in and I'll rock him and sing to him, but he needs you.
Wow.
Yes, and the moment I go in there, this is me, I'm very tactile. I'm rubbing his head, I'm starting
Yes.
to hum, and he's just into it. I pick him up and he's just there. And which I understand.
He's like,
said-
my mom's finally
Yeah, he
here.
said, I picked my mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And he'll tell me that, I picked you, Mom.
So has he told you, like how he picked you? Like what?
He just says, I remember the flower in my tummy and I was going through a list of people.
Interesting.
And then I came.
And then Harry is.
Here he is. I was just reminding them of when I took this baby to you. You're like, well, number one, he was a hero.
Yeah.
Number two, he ran in and saved people, and then the building fell on him. Things like this you would tell me, and I'm like, I just picked up this little baby like a week ago. When he'll be the child that kind of hangs with you. He'll be the child that's always by you. He'll be the child, that will tell you things, and you just, support that and say, okay, good job.
Well, and he's also going to be, as he grows and works through some emotional gunk, right? Which we
Yeah,
all
he
gotta
does.
do.
He does. He's my
Right?
emotional child.
But he's always going to have that was like his favorite thing to be, is that kind of hero.
Yeah.
That person that, people would want have as a part of their life, or
Right.
things like that. So he still has that hero.
He does. He won't
Kinda
hesitate. Mom,
complex.
I'm here to help you. Mom, if you need my help, I'm right around the corner. I'm like, okay.
And he's
So-
5 people.
He's fine. He's fine.
So with all of that and all of his conversations with you, what was the one that just made your jaw drop and go, what the hell is this creepy kid or what?
I was just telling her how Lori,
Yeah.
he knows how to swim.
Right.
From the get-go, he
Yeah.
knew how to swim. He tells you how, Mom, this is how I breathe when I swim, Yeah, I breathe and blow and breathe.
Yeah, a lot of times when they reincarnate that fast, they will
He knows
remember
stuff.
how to write, and they will remember how to swim. There was one story that I had heard, and this little blonde-haired, green-eyed boy, he was maybe 5 years old, and they lived in, more in the city kind of thing. They weren't like out in the country and stuff. Well, they had went out, and I can't remember if they went to go like see like a petting zoo or something kind of similar to that. I think that's what it was, or someone had a farm that they were taking him to go see. That little shit. He took off, climbed up on the tractor, started the tractor, and drove the tractor off. So it was a little bit
Oh my
a
gosh.
scary
That's
mess,
nuts.
but hilarious after you think about it, And that little kid knew how to drive the tractor. Like he shifted
just
it,
knew.
he knew how to start it.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
That's Max. His bios are in construction, and one is with cars. Max is in cars from the moment he got out of the womb, and he. At the tractor thing, we were up doing horse therapy. Yeah, he calls on the John Deere too. I'm like, okay, talk
Yeah,
about
but I
things that are
mean, you
just
expect
there.
him to call on a tractor, but you don't expect him to know how to start.
Yeah,
the thing
exactly.
And shift and all the
Yeah.
things. You're like, especially when they've never been around that,
Right, that's Max. One on each side, and he was ready to go, and I was like, oh
No, no.
no. Yeah, I'm trying to think about creepy stuff all the time. I just kind of go.
My
"Ooh."
daughter, she always used to tell me, and it was constant. She was like maybe 3, 4, 5 years old. And she'd always say, hey, Mom, remember when I was your mom and you were my kid and this is where we'd go and this is what we did? And I'm like, holy shit, this is great. And, I wish people would encourage things
Right.
like that more because, when these kids are born and they have that, I guess, big of a grasp on what their past life was, right? You want to kind of embrace that because there's so much more, and there's a lot of evidence of this. I know.
Yeah.
I don't remember what university it is. I want to say it's University of Virginia, but I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that. But they actually are doing studies
Yeah.
on this, collecting all the data, having all these different. There's a lot of kids that have been born, more recently that are talking about how they jumped out of the big building that the plane
I saw that
crashed
9/11. Yeah.
and all that, and there's a lot going on with that, and I think because this shift that we've got planetarily that's happening, because more and more kids are starting to be embraced and share. So we got a lot more people that are more aware there's more out there, right?
Yeah.
And so they're embracing that more, which I love. But you also have, because of this shift, we are going into a space where we're going to have a lot of telepathy going on. We're going to have a lot of that thinning of the veil,
Yeah.
to where we're going to have access to those records, those past lives, those movements, like we've never experienced here. And I'm kind of excited about that.
It's gonna be fun, right?
She kept talking about her past life with me when I used it against her, which I thought I was being smart, but I guess I was not. 'Cause I kept telling her, you need to go clean your room. And she had to have been about 6 at this point. I'm like, you got to go clean your room. And she didn't want to do that, which I don't blame her, but she didn't want to.
What kid
And
wants
I said to her, I'm
to?
like, remember when I was your kid and you was my mom? She's like, you sure do. And I said, did you make me clean my room? She's like, absolutely. I said, get your ass in there and go clean your room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last that happened. I remember thing, but she does even to this day still mother me. You know, and she loves hate that she does that. It's kind of funny for me to watch.
Right.
Hey, you can mother me all day long. I'm a little unruly, you know. But you know, she's just so amazing. She had a bad accident. We were out riding horses, and I had her on her horse, and like the day I had her, I went riding my horse. And then went to the hospital, and they're like, "You need to be induced." And I'm like,
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
"Yeah." I told them to kiss my ass. I walked out, kicked the elevator with my foot, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm not having that kid right now." I don't know what I was thinking, but
You weren't.
I swear to you, like 5 days later, there I was. I had her strapped on with me, and she's been on a horse ever since.
Wow.
I'm still hungry even though I ate.
Okay, all right,
Okay,
okay.
we'll be done.
You already ate all 3 of those? I got 3 of the chocolate donuts.
Oh.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
But she, at a year old, before she could even walk, she was riding horses.
Oh.
Wow.
And she was very advanced, even being that young. And so when we were crossing the road, I told her, I said, "You just wait here. I'm going to take my horse across, and then I'm going to come back and lead you across."
Right.
And while she was waiting there, this guy running from I don't know what, but he was going over 100 miles an hour, and I mean it went from, because I seen him in the distance, but we had plenty of time. I didn't realize he was going over 100 miles an hour. So by the time he seen her, he had hit her doing 97 miles an hour at the point of impact.
Gosh.
And if that horse wouldn't have reared up right at the right time, she wouldn't have a leg. And I swear she flew. And I'm watching her, and she flew across 2 lanes, damn near right. If I would have reached out my arm, I would have caught her. But I was like doing that, you know.
In shock,
Uh-huh.
horrified.
And it was the weirdest thing, because it looked like someone just gently put her down.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She didn't even have road rash.
Oh
All
my
right,
gosh.
so I'm
Oh
like
my
checking her and stuff, making sure she's okay. I get her all scooped up. I run over to the horse. He was still alive, but he was dying, and he got up and went over and landed on top of me, and that's when I broke my neck. And I didn't know it at the time, because of course you have so much adrenaline. But when we got to the hospital, she looked at me, and I was holding myself together. And she looks at me, she's like, "Hey Mom, did you see those angel hands come and grab me?" And I'm like, "Ah!" I was like,
You lose
I
it. So before Max goes out, I want him to tell everyone why he chose you.
Come here.
Max,
We have a question for you.
I'll
Okay,
go get some
Max,
food
here's
for
your
you.
question.
Okay.
Okay, somebody
Yep.
on the computer has asked, why did you choose me for your mom?
Why did you choose your mom? Can you tell us?
Tell us why you chose me? Be your mama?
Because I like this mama.
You
Yeah?
like this mama?
Why do you like that
this
mama?
What does this mama do that makes you happy?
You help me put away the dishes and stuff.
The dishes. No, we want to ask you more. More. Come here. Oh, you're heavy. Okay, so tell me, I know your back is to there, so tell me more. Not just to put away the dishes, but why else did you choose this mama over another mama?
You got to pick this mama,
got to pick me,
right?
Yeah.
Why'd you pick
Why'd you pick
this mama?
This mama.
I love you, and I do the dishes.
These are the
All
dishes.
kind of things.
What are the other things? Why did you make you choose me, even though you didn't do the dishes? What makes you choose me?
Well, you help me do the dishes. Second, you give it a recharge.
I give you a recharge.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Was there something special that made you choose me over Nina or over Grandma or anybody else?
Over Mina, because you said if I had you, then you could help me do the chores.
Oh, I can help you do chores. Okay. I thought you were going to give me a good deep meaning, like sometimes you come up and tell me, "Hey, Mom, remember when I used to babysit you as a baby?" Huh? Did you remember telling me that?
Yeah.
What did you tell me? Let's not play with this. Come on. Okay. He's gonna go out. No, Taco's gonna help.
He's just distracted. He's in a new place
Yes,
that
and
he's
you know
never
what?
been.
I was going to go talk to my friend Taco and Lori. And we were going to talk about kids kind of knowing more than they should sometimes. And she
Yes.
said, well, Mom, I really want to go to you. I have to tell people things.
Yep.
And then he saw the Legos.
Yeah, and he's distracted now.
And he's just a kid now. So
Yeah. But has he told you though, like why? What did he tell you why he picked you?
No, he hasn't come out and said, I picked you because.
Okay, he
Even though
just
he has
said,
this amazing vocabulary.
yeah,
Yeah,
he just told you he picked
I
you.
picked you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know why.
Do you feel like that your other son Ben is picked you too? Like, do you
Absolutely.
feel like you have that connection with him?
I do. You know, with Ben has such challenges, genetic challenges.
Right.
Nothing. He wasn't born addicted to drugs. He wasn't anything like that. It's all
Right.
genetic.
Right.
So Ben is actually missing part of chromosome 7. And he's got a lot of anomalies, which, you know, even the U says, we can't tell you what's going on here. He's just going to kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
Ben will tell me, Mom, I like you. Mom, I love you. Mom, your baby, right? And I'm like, yep. Because he has even though he's 8, he kind of speaks like he's maybe 3 or 4.
Just more of a limited vocabulary.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still learning his numbers and his ABCs and things like that. And he'll have this forever. He'll be someone that, you know, will always need a companion, someone to take care of him. But he knows, and, you know, not to get really spiritual or out there, we had little Ben still to us, you know, and doing that kind of thing. And as Taco always says, you don't have to be one religion to know something's true. But
Of course.
Ben knew us, you know, before this, because there was really funky stuff going on, and he looked right at me, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Did he like stare into your soul?
Absolutely, it was kind of freaky.
That's
like,
what
you
I
know,
always call it.
yeah, it was just like, you are my parent. And this little boy that can't maintain eye contact was just like,
Staring.
yes, and the most crystal blue, clear eyes. I mean, he connected with me big time.
Yeah.
And when I picked him up, he was, again, from the NICU. They're like, okay, you're going to have this baby, and there's a lot of struggles. We can't tell you what's going on. For the first couple of days, he was really standoffish. You know, he was kind of like, And then all of a sudden, he relaxed into it, and I have pictures again. Those blue eyes just,
Staring.
yes.
Wow.
And he'll tell me that, Mom, we had the same eyes.
Wow.
I
just got
it's
the
kind of one of
chills.
those chilly things.
Yes.
You know, and we've been doing a lot of construction. There's a lot of things going on in our house, and my boys always come in
Lots
and-
of things.
Oh, lots of things, you name it. They come and they always tell me, Mom, we the 3 Musketeers, us 3 together. I mean, we don't mean to ostracize Dad, but Dad's kind of not connected to this bond
Right.
we all have.
Right.
Yes,
Wow.
and it's crazy, but
That
we
is.
get it. I mean, they couldn't be more a part of me than if I genetically would have birthed them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. People will say, Ben looks exactly like you.
He does look like you. See,
Very
yeah.
much so. Yeah. And Max, even though he's Hispanic, he's got my personality. He's got my
yes.
funny way of looking at life. You know, everybody said, like, a lot of my family, you look through rose-colored glasses and all those metaphors. And I'm like, no, I kind of, it's humorous to me.
Well, and why not be fun, right? Why not be positive and fun? This is why I love Doreen so much, everyone. She's always a great time. She's always very positive. If you heard the shit that she's been going through,
Shit show.
yeah, lately, and she's here just laughing, having a good time.
I know, we tried to do this last week, too, and we
Yeah.
ended up just a gap session until we're like, oh my gosh, it's 5 o'clock, we need to go.
Right, because we hadn't seen each other for a while, and yeah. But anyway,
Yeah,
that's
Lori
so
and
awesome.
I, seriously, we live not even a block away from each other.
Yeah,
Serious.
yeah.
We, like,
Growing up,
it was always funny. It was always
and our
funny.
parents still live in the same neighborhood.
Area.
Neighborhood,
yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And it's so funny how we just, like, those people, like, you connect, you drift, but you always know each other.
Isn't it weird? See, and I'm totally getting the chills right now. And this happens a lot with people that I have met or known from my past. When I look back and, like, we'd see each other at church, or, you know, young women's, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when I look back today and picturing you, seeing you back then, and then and you're here sitting with me right now, it's like I knew this was going to happen. Somehow,
know,
does
I
that
know.
make sense to
It
you?
does, it does. You know people you
you-
will know for the rest of your life.
Yes.
I have run into
And-
people and like,
oh my
how do
gosh.
I know you? Okay, this is really weird. I have a great friend and he says, how do we know you? We knew we were married in a previous life. Yeah, totally. You've met him before. He's came for a reading before.
I don't remember.
I know. Taco too, and he's like, I can tell you what number wife you were. Okay, and this is weird too. Okay, so before I got married, I didn't get married the first time until I was like 32.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of my life traveling. I've always been fascinated with Europe. My family
Yes.
is Scottish. I'm going to Scotland.
Yes,
right?
tell
Me
this
to Europe.
story. Yes.
Europe. Okay, never been here before in my life. I make friends all the way around the world. I'm going
Yes.
to Reading to meet my friend Mary, and we're just gonna, make that ground zero and just go flying everywhere.
Uh-huh.
I get off the plane in a place I've never been before. We're in the Midlands of England, okay? Midlands. I'm like, I have been here before. I can tell you what's down at the end of the road, and I can tell you the name of that pub and everything. And I have never been here before. And her dad's like, you're freaking my crap.
Because you've been there before.
This is before Ancestry DNA, okay?
Yeah.
We're talking 1995. Well, I do my DNA. Guess where 40% of my DNA comes from?
There.
The Midlands of England.
I just got the chills again. Oh my gosh.
I know, I'm
So-
sitting here chilling too. So my first husband I married, he's a Midlands boy. Right?
Yes. Yep.
Yep. So, great, awesome. We're traveling back and forth. My mom's like, ooh, it's the international couple. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Every
Fancy.
Christmas we go home, still seeing your mother-in-law, but you're going to another country, right? So we'd go and we'd make these little voyages. Okay, one time we're going to the Yorkshire Moors.
Uh-huh.
I've been to York before, but I haven't.
Not
But I
in
knew
this
it was there.
lifetime.
Yeah. We went to Whitby. You have to go through the Yorkshire Moors to go to Whitby. This is where Bram Stoker got his inspiration for Dracula. Okay,
Yes.
they have a big abbey up on the hill with ruins. Okay, it's really cool. I am like, why do I know?
It's so familiar, right?
Familiar. I'm like at the little shop down there buying like charcoal and paper so I can like rub stuff on tombstones and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like, why do I know this place?
Yeah.
This is so freaking my cookie
Do you
right
feel
now.
like does it feel like deja vu to you kind
Absolutely,
of? Like
absolutely.
Have I been here before or have I done this like
Okay, and
before
we're
or
thinking
both?
95, this isn't Jane Austen,
Yeah.
Keira Knightley on the hills and her dress whipping in the wind, okay? This hasn't even come about. And then I go to a place called Burleigh House. Okay, Lord Burleigh was a big figure in English history. Okay? I know I've been to this house before. In fact, I should bring these pictures once. Here I am in Burleigh House. It's a big gated community. They have deer that run on here. They do all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm taking pictures and all of a sudden my camera's not working. I'm like, I don't know why it's not working.
Right.
I get back to the car with my mother-in-law. We're going through that, and you can see this big white orb come right across. She goes, the fairies visited you. I'm like, that's one hell fairy. I'll have to bring pictures for Taco to see.
Yes, yes.
And I'm like, my whole life, there's just been something I've just been really in tune to. And, being raised, again, a little LDS girl.
Yes.
Put it away.
Right.
You know,
You've
and-
just pushed it, suppressed it down.
Yeah. And for the longest time, I'm like, no, we're
Yeah.
going to just do what we need to do.
So I have a little story too. So I believe Taco told me in one of my past lives I was some Egyptian, like Cleopatra person or something. And I've always been fascinated with Egypt and the pyramids. And that's a bucket list. I definitely want to go there one
there.
day. Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, one day,
Okay, I'll tell you.
yes, I have
Guess
to
what?
go.
You drive up right to the Nile and you park. I mean, the pyramids and you park.
My
My illusion was totally
dream.
blown.
What, really? That's so crazy.
I know.
But I've always felt connected or very interested in the history and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to Vegas over last weekend.
Right.
And we decided to go to, I think it was the Luxor.
Yeah, the pyramid. Mhm.
And do the little King
Experience.
Tut experience.
Me too.
Which I did learn some things.
Uh-huh.
So my favorite color is teal
Mm-hmm.
and different shades of teal.
Right.
We go through the exhibit and I had to take a picture of it on my phone. Guess what color they use to do their pottery and stuff with?
Yeah, teal.
It's teal, people, teal.
Teal.
It's like, okay, there's another connection.
Exactly.
So you
Well,
just
my favorite color is green. Guess what color England is?
green. Oh my gosh.
Totally.
It's so awesome. But I was just sitting there and my sister-in-law was with us and I'm like, did you just see this? She goes, I know. I was going to.
It's like light bulb.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you do. I feel like we do recognize stuff from past lives and experiences, or we bring stuff with us here. Do you feel like you've brought any traumas with you into this life?
You know, I started healing past traumas, I would say, and I told this to you once before. So here I am working in a salon. I'm 21. We go to this psychic fair at the new pavilion built on the state fairgrounds. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. Okay. I'm going with a bunch of friends after work. I go in there and this lady is like running across towards me and she goes, "Oh my gosh, you're a healer. You're a healer. I've never met a full blown healer before." And I'm like,
What? Excuse me?
So I think that was my first introduction to who I am and owning myself and my power. And I've been other places too. And I don't know if a lot of you ladies, I have double W's on each hand.
Yes.
I have
They probably
double
can't
mystic
see,
crosses. I have, one time we'll have to put them up or
but yeah, take a picture and like
I've
draw
been to
them.
like Crohn's Hollow and places like that, and the lady's like grabbed my hand across the. And she goes, "This is amazing." I go, "Do you want to see the other one too?" I have never met anybody that has two, and I'm like, "Well, here I am.
Here you are.
Here I am."
And so, do you feel like you're a little witchy? Now I know, okay, Doreen, she totally is. Every Halloween, she always dresses up. This has the greatest witches.
Gardner Village too. Everything
Yes,
around my
witchy,
house is
witchy.
witchy. I have owned this probably since I was 25.
Okay, your
You know,
witchiness.
I've researched some places. Okay, I am not about a coven. I am not about that. I own who I am. A lot of places in England, I even went up to see the Fairy King on a hill. They have a big folly up there. Glastonbury. They're like, "Isn't your head humming from the energy?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm owning this." I've always been the different ones. They would say a garden or a white or a kitchen type of witch or someone like that.
Yeah.
Okay? This is really funny. I have this little witch from the 1960s. She's this big on her little broom. That was a Halloween present to me, and she has followed me everywhere.
I love
I pull
that.
her out, and I'm like, "This is me." We're talking like Bewitched with the bat wings.
yeah.
Always. And people put like negative connotations
On
to
witches. Yeah. Witchiness.
I've always owned that. People are like, "Well, how can you be LDS and believe in that and something else?" I said, "We are bigger than a religion." I know.
It's true.
My little Maxie is like taking Taco by the hand and pulls her out of the room.
Yep. She's entertaining.
Right. So I've always owned that part of me. Am I going to be the girl all dressed in black? I'm fascinated with that. But it's something that's totally not me.
Not the dark side of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Am I a healer? Absolutely.
Yes.
Have I affected these? Are these babies living because of that? Absolutely.
Yes.
I've been told by many
100%.
doctors, "This is all you.
Yeah.
These babies weren't meant to be here. This is all you."
I believe that. I found too that I think I'm getting on the not getting, but like been super interested in the witchy stuff too. Chelsea's always been witchy, my daughter, and I'm becoming more and more interested in it. And so anyway,
I think we're going to
Updates
see a lot
later.
of this as this shift happens. We're going
I
to see
do
a lot
too.
of people who own their powers have been labeled witches or been labeled other things, but we kind of know where we're going and what's up.
Yeah, for sure.
And my family is Scottish. Okay, think back to Scotland. All the history
Right.
of Scotland and all of that going on and the trials and everything else.
Yes.
Yeah, we were furriers and traders coming through Massachusetts. This is my bucket list. I want to go to Salem.
Yeah, right. Oh yes, that would be so cool.
Me and Sarah Jessica Parker, And I
Right.
have met people who said, "Yeah, I have known you. You were in a pit with us." And I'm like, "Okay, back it up. I don't want to know about that either."
Yeah.
So I would say my journey through this has been long, and I've healed a lot of that regressional. I know I've been a man before. I know I've lost
Really?
my family in war before. Oh yeah, this lady came out and told me everything, and I was like, "What?
Wow.
I'm going to heal you from this sadness you carry." And I was like, "Sad?" She goes, "Yeah, because your feet are always hot." I was like, "What?" They are. I'm like the barefoot girl all the time. So I have met some really interesting people in my journey, and I think that just helped me along the way, because if I would have had these boys at a younger age, oh hell no.
Yeah. Well, I always told her too, because we're the same age, pretty basically, and
close.
she's adopting these special kids, and I'm like, you're freaking nuts.
They're like, okay,
I
I'm
can't-
56.
Are you
Don't freak out.
sure?
Yes. And I'm a mom of a 5-year-old. And you know,
Yeah.
the other day I was like, what if I got one more? And my husband's like, no.
yeah.
But my husband is also special needs, because
Yeah.
he was a policeman who was hit by a semi. He has a front temporal lobe brain injury, an amputation on his leg. Oh, we are the house that I don't know.
There's
how we
the
functioned.
healing coming out in you again, right? Yeah.
And it was he who went after me. I didn't go after him.
Yeah. It's because that energy is just bringing them all to you.
Suck onto me. I call them my little domites. I'm trying to
That's
go, they're
awesome.
weighing me down. I know.
Oh,
More questions?
7 says Salem is amazing. Been there a bunch of times.
Did you go on Halloween and seen all the people there? And I'm fascinated by the lady that has the blindfold over her face and she tells you.
Let's see if she answers.
I know way too much about that place.
Right. That's so cool. We'll see if she answers here in a second. But in October, yeah. Oh wow, how cool!
I've been to.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Not on Halloween though, she says.
No, there's too many people going on there. Yeah, porthole's too open. Everything else is too open. I have been to Gettysburg, and that was very, very humbling to me.
Really?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That was something that I want to go back again, because there was so much sadness where I was at.
Did you pick up on the energy and the feeling of all that? Yeah.
Totally. Like half of my family, we did this big family thing. There are 6 of us, and then we had spouses and kids, and I'm like, I can't do this right now.
So
and I
you
would
had
go
to
somewhere else.
You had to go walk away from it. Yeah. Michelle says my mom's biological dad was full-blooded Scottish. Sorry, I'm trying to see over the mic
I know,
here.
it's in the way. We're trying to do this.
Scottish. His parents brought him over on a boat when he was young. Oh wow,
Love it.
Michelle, I
So
didn't know
I've been on
that.
the Utah Scottish Association board for probably 35 years, on and off and on and off. I do a lot with the family, so the clans. I do a lot with clans. I'm always there. If you say, hey, where's Doe? They'll find me.
Wow.
I usually have a radio, driving a golf cart, doing something, and I've been involved with it forever.
Wow. And 7 said we usually go the first weekend of October. That's so cool.
That's so cool.
7, where are you located now? Are you local here in Utah, or where are you living now? I'm just curious how far you're traveling from. It doesn't matter, but I'm just curious.
Because I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I was born in Keysport, Pennsylvania.
So when did you move into
We
the
moved
neighborhood?
into the neighborhood in I'm going to age myself,
Yeah.
1974 or 75.
So just a couple years after
yeah.
my parents. I think they moved
Yeah, I
in
remember when the whole thing
72.
was being built.
Dirt.
It was the Camp family across the street
Right.
that I keep in contact with.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, with the Smelt family and some other families, we were like the founding families of the street.
Right. Yeah. It's so crazy that we have all those people that because I've kept in contact with them too,
absolutely.
and it's so fun
I
to
always
see.
tell people, you know, we grew up on a street where everybody knew everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, we'd get out in the street and everybody played together. Everybody did adventures together, and and even through junior high and high school and college, we were always invited to their weddings or part of. I've been a bridesmaid more times than I know.
Right.
But yeah, things like that. You know, now our parents are passing away, and you bet I'm there to do floral or anything else. And yeah,
Yeah. Doreen did the flowers for my sister Shelley
I did.
when she
I
passed
did.
too, 7 years ago.
I know.
Jeez,
I
where
think
does the
it's
time go?
It's the last greatest thing you can give them. And I know
Yeah.
this is really weird, but when I deliver flowers and I do them myself and put them on the casket, it's like they smile. They
Just
rest.
got
They
the
go
chills.
and they smile.
Because
They're
they
ready to start
know.
the next part, because the next part would be the viewing.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I've
That's
had to
amazing.
put flowers in people's hands or do like rosaries around the top.
Do you
so I'm
get-
leaning over them.
Do you get that vision like in your mind or
I know what they
your
want.
mind's eye?
I know what
Yeah.
they want. When I go there and they'll say, well, this is the idea, and I'll be like, I know exactly what to do.
Because you're being directed.
I am,
From
absolutely.
spirit.
I say, you have to be open, and people always say this, flowers tell you what they want to do.
I believe that.
Okay, they tell me how they want to go, and I'm just open enough to do it. And yes, I have all my accreditations and everything else. And people are like, "Why do you do what you do?" And I'm like, "Because they tell me what they want to do."
Right. You're being guided.
This is a very
for-
living thing.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
love
it's
that
pretty
you
cool.
shared
I
that.
like, that's why I really like to do friends and family. I've had brick and mortar shops. I've had things like this.
Uh-huh.
I just like to do it for friends and family out of my home because I think it's a personal service.
It is
And,
very
yeah,
personal.
When
Yeah.
it's funerals or weddings or births or stuff like that.
For sure. Let's see. So Michelle said, yes, that's why Uncle Mike wore a kilt often. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Hi to
I
Uncle Mike, too.
see. That's right. You do.
I did. So I was one of the questions a couple
Yep.
series back. I had like very invasive back surgery in September. We're
Uh-huh.
talking like a 4-level fusion with pelvic bolts, and I have no hardware in
Nasty.
me.
Nasty.
And my Uncle Mike was there the entire time. I woke up when I said Uncle Mike. You know, and that's what one of my questions was Uncle Mike there? Because I knew he was there. I just wanted that validation.
Yeah.
Because we always second guess ourselves.
Exactly. Yep.
We always
That's why
do,
we
no
have
matter
Taco,
what.
right?
Yeah, Taco's like, don't second guess yourself. I do. I think our nature is to just second guess ourselves all the time.
yeah.
Even as a designer, and I'm in the top of my field, I second guess myself all
Yeah.
the time. Like, should I have done that? Should I not? I'm
We have to
teaching. What am I
learn to
doing?
trust ourselves.
Yes, and it's
for
very
sure.
hard because
Yeah.
you know, being a healer and a giver, we just want to make everybody else feel good.
It's right. We forget about ourselves.
Self-care. What is self-maintenance? I don't know what that is. Especially being a special needs mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
But you always look fabulous.
Oh, you're so cute.
Like,
I always feel like
I don't know how this one keeps up with everything, honestly. I
Just
don't.
like, why are you fashion forward? I'm like, I have no clue. I just like what I like.
All right. You're just a natural.
Because the last time I came, I was all dressed in this harvest color, and they're like,
Beautiful.
"Whoa, look at
Yes.
you!" And I'm like, today I'm in a blue kind of being a Canceria, and I need the silver blue.
Yeah.
This is my grandma's. I was like, I'm gonna wear grandma today.
Yes. That's so awesome. Okay. We have to get to wrap. Oh, Chelsea says my mic is really loud. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Or I'm just a lot closer.
No, that's bitter.
She's like, thanks, your mic's really loud.
Taco was entertaining my child. She'll be like, that boy, I'm gonna tell you.
Well, we're about ready to wrap up. Do you have, excuse me, anything else you would like to add? I'll move this back here.
You know, preparing for this after we talked last week, we were like, watch movies, read things, look at things at children. After a while, I had to turn it off. It was freaking my stuff. I'm not gonna be the
Really?
first to say, yeah, I was like, okay, no, they just, you know. I would say if your child or your niece, nephew, grandson, granddaughter, just listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Say, okay,
I agree with that.
yeah. Don't say, oh, you're just watching something from a cartoon or you're just making that up or whatever. Like Taco said, I mean, it's not their imagination.
No,
They're telling you stuff.
it's real stuff. Yeah, yeah. And
I'm
I
a firm
experienced
believer
that
of
with
that.
my daughter Star. Yeah, she had the friends all the time. But yeah, I think it's so important to support and acknowage so
Absolutely.
they
And I
don't
always-
feel like they're crazy.
Right, and I always say that because I had teen girls in and out my house too. Just support them. You
Yeah.
know, even though I was mothering, they say, you mother them. No, I support them.
Right.
I let them do what they need to do to fly. And if they fall, I'm there. If not, I'm like, you go girl, you
Right.
too, whatever. Just like my boys, I'll get little notes home and I'm like, you know what? We'll work on that. But other than that, just let them do their
You
thing.
be you,
Mhm.
right?
Not
I
my
love
job
that.
to change anything about you.
All right. Okay, everyone. Thank you to all of you who joined us today and who commented. And we will definitely see you next time. Couple reminders. Please go to our YouTube channel at How Do You Spirit and give us a subscribe.
A thumbs up or
We're-
something.
Yeah, we're trying to build that up. And stay tuned. We have a lot of episodes banked right now that we're going to be releasing. We release our episodes on Spotify and all the major podcast platforms every Friday. So if you are, have a favorite one of those, go check that out. But you can also see them all on YouTube. So anyway, thank you. Bye.